Hello everyone, welcome for this new community show. Today's a community show of importance because not only we're going to speak about the patch notes, the new content coming soon in December, and you should absolutely be excited about that, but we have, before all of that, a very big and important announcement to make, which is probably one of the biggest announcements we had to make since we released. So Drindin, hi, welcome. Thank you very much to join me for today community show as every month now. It's a tradition.
Yes, thanks for having me. Excited, nervous, but yeah, no, I think we can get into it, and we can.
Yeah. Let's start with
let's
the opening. And as this announcement is very big, there might be people that do not know us that are watching this episode. So I would like to introduce myself and introduce Drindin. I'm Elloa, I'm the community manager. And Drindin, introduce yourself.
I'm Drindin, the CEO or president of Stormhaven Studios, obviously makers of Embers Adrift, and I do a bunch of different things for the game. So I wear a lot of different hats as well. So yeah.
Let's get into it. So it's been 2 years that we have released Embers Adrift. Embers Adrift has celebrated its second anniversary just this month. It feels like 3 months ago, but it was just a dozen of days. And it was really great. We're going to talk about that before, but we have an announcement that we were not really planning to make today. So before to get into it, maybe a little bit of context.
Sure. The last few months have been interesting, kind of a roller coaster ride for us, especially in prep for our 2-year anniversary. So that was emotional and just frustrating and all kinds of different things. A lot of discussion on how we're gonna move forward and what we're gonna do and what plans to make and those types of things. But ultimately, we decided that we wanted to make sure that what we do is going to affect our fans as little as possible. So the route we've chosen to go is hopefully beneficial to all of you. I think let's just read the announcement. Let's read the press release, and then so the title, obviously, Digital River fails to pay, plans for Steam launch, temporary free to play. Our small independent game development company, Stormhaven Studios, has trusted Digital River with payment processing for Embers Adrift since before launch. Until recently, they have been a reliable partner. However, we have not received any payments since our June revenue payment. I kind of realized today that with what's going on and how we're proceeding, we will have missed out on an entire half a year of revenue. So that's pretty frustrating. But after making inquiries, we were informed about an unconsulted adjustment to the agreed upon payment schedule. Despite our patience, repeated inquiries, and expected payment dates coming and going, we have not received our expected revenues. Stormhaven Studios is taking decisive action to ensure the continued support and development of our game. After consulting with our legal counsel, we sent a demand letter to Digital River on October 11th, which we know has been delivered. We have received no response from them. Additionally, we have seen a growing number of complaints from other companies facing similar issues with Digital River. This causes us to wonder if we'll ever be able to recover those funds. Likely not. In light of this situation, we have terminated our partnership with Digital River. To ensure that our community continues to thrive, we intend to migrate Embers Adrift to Steam. That's our current plan. All active subscriptions through Digital River will be canceled. In an effort to reduce any further damage to our community and game, we are excited to announce that Embers Adrift will temporarily be available for free, granting all who wish to play Embers Adrift access to the game and all the subscriber perks while we work on this migration. We anticipate this process will take a couple of months, after which we plan to return to our standard monetization model. We will keep our community updated with details on our migration plan and schedule as work progresses. In the meantime, we've set up a donation page to help cover our costs while we work through this challenging time. We appreciate any and all support given to our dev team to help us keep the lights on and continue development of Embers Adrift. We thank you for your unwavering support and understanding as we navigate this transition. To donate to the dev team, you can visit embersadrift.com/donate. And I'm pretty sure that link is active now. Let me just double check. It does appear to be active. So yeah, kind of a hard thing to bring to light. And again, the after maintenance window, the game will be free for all. It's going to be free to play temporary. So you can follow the same instructions as for the free trial if you're a new player. If you're an old player and you've had a subscription, nothing should change for you. Everything should be the same. So yeah, I mean, it was kind of a hard balance to strike there, and trying to figure out how do we not affect our subscribers, but then while we're free to play, people won't be able to purchase the game. And if they wanted to purchase the game and wanted to have those subscriber benefits, they wouldn't be able to get those. So we kind of decided to go the middle path and try to make sure that, in this period when no one is paying, everyone's on the same playing field. So yeah, super sorry for any inconveniences it causes. Obviously, it's beyond our control. We don't really have much control over that, but I just kind of at a loss for words. I never expected, as Richard says, Digital River just simply choosing never to pay us again on our list for 2024. So it's kind of I'm a bit speechless about it. Anyway.
Yeah, so thank you so very much for your support right now in the chat. Thank you very much for your kind words. Thank you for your support and everything. It's super, super sweet of you. So related to the Steam implementation, it's a project at this point. This is our plan. We cannot guarantee 100% that it will be done. We do not know the detail yet of how we can do it and how we can proceed. It is much, much more complex than one would think, which is why it has not been done by the past, because it's been a while that people are, when are you coming from Steam? And we have been repeating. It's not as easy as just turn the plug in and ta-da, we are on Steam. There's a lot of processing to do. And now it's not because we're forced to get on Steam that things get any easier, quite the contrary. Can you elaborate a little bit on that, Drindin, maybe?
Sure. Some of the difficulties are, how do we transfer the product over for people who have already bought it, right? So it's not like we're just launching on Steam and it's a normal Steam launch. It's having to migrate all our current customers over, and then how do we also get their Steam accounts linked up to their current accounts? That's another obstacle. And as far as subscriptions go, that also plays a factor. People will have to likely manually reset up their subscriptions through Steam. There's the chance that Steam doesn't even want us. But I highly doubt that would be one of the outcomes. But other than that, they're what do you do with people who have multiple accounts? What do you do with all kinds of questions out there?
Yeah.
for us to consider as we go forward. So all those things are going to be on our minds. We're 99% sure we're going to be able to go to Steam, but you know, once we get all these questions lined up and everything kind of falling into place, we'll have more news for you on that front.
Yeah, so normally for you guys, it's kind of a good news in the sense where, yeah, you have the game for free now. No more monthly sub required, not even to have access to the 9-character slot. And anyone that would like to join Embers Adrift and try it, it's the best time to do it. Just jump in the game. It does not cost you anything. And you will have full access to the game, which is why I'm going to organize soon, the Tuesday before the maintenance, a new leveling group of players. You will be welcome to join and to try re-experience the game from scratch and see everything that the game has to offer, all the stuff we have been adding through those 2 years. So it's a really good time to try out the game and see if you like it. There it is.
Yeah. Olafson, no, we will continue development. We're not going to be just running in maintenance mode. We already are like halfway done with our plans for Grizzled Peaks 2. We're not going to stop that train rolling. You know, and I would say that the biggest losers for this have been the dev team, honestly. Been a lot of struggles for this situation for them, but they've been super generous with their time and their, you know, effort. So, you know, if there's any heroes in this situation, it's definitely our dev team. So tons of credit and props to them. I was also going to mention, Elloa, that the press release did say that all subscriptions would be canceled. We're going through that right now. That should be done within 4 to 5 hours. So if for some reason you find that after that time frame your subscription is still active, well, it should always kind of stay active because things are going free. But that being said, you shouldn't be getting any charges from Digital River at this point. So we'll go through 4 to 5 hours of shutting those all off, and then you know, reach out to me on Discord or send an email to support@Stormhaven Studios if you get a charge after today.
That will have to figure that for themselves, because all the money since July, you know, any purchase, any subscription, all of that is gone. It disappears, so to speak.
Well, it's not gone. Someone has it.
Yeah,
it's not
but
us.
It's not us. Yeah. So there it is. But this will hopefully help us to move forwards and speed up the process of the Steam integration. And as we have been developing the game so much since 2 years, the game is in a much better place to go on Steam than it was 2 years ago.
Yeah. In fact, they were our payment processor since before launch even, and you know, it's a pretty heavy blow for us. You know, something I mentioned to Digital River in some of my communications were that, you know, we actually, like, they vetted us to make sure that we were legit before they partnered with us. But you know, what they might not realize is we vetted them too. Like, we vetted all the possible options out there, and we decided that they would be the best company to partner with to fulfill our dreams of launching a successful MMO that continues into the future, like, you know, EverQuest or World of Warcraft for decades. So it's a pretty heavy blow for us to have to now realize that, you know, we can't trust them. Who can we trust? Having to decide who to go with next, and it's... So
PK Lemming is saying, for me it is a good time to try it again, so I wish there were not under those circumstances.
Yeah, I mean, it's an excellent time to come and check out the game. We've added tons and tons of new stuff. The solo aspect of the game has been greatly improved. Even the duo aspect of the game has been greatly improved, and we worked really hard for a long time on making sure this game just keeps getting better and better, and we feel it's in a really good spot right now. I think it's actually in a really good spot to launch on Steam.
Yeah, I think so too. Like the Retro Forest change is so positive. It's so praised every time someone played through Retro Forest. They are making comments. Someone was again saying that. It was Carmel saying that the crack scale manor was one of the best content, and I really hope that we were adding more of that type of content in the game in future. So I think that's the kind of things we are willing to revamp what we have already built, to be able to restore it, improve it, polish it with everything we have learned through those 2 years, because we had the occasion of seeing how the players are playing through the content. We received a lot of feedback. We are listening to the feedback once again, I have to say, and it takes time to digest, to see how we can do. We are not acting upon the feedback given right away, because we are working on different things and we're still this very small teeny team with little resource, but it's not going into a deaf ear. We're listening, we are thinking about it. Sometimes it takes months before it's sparkle an idea or a plan, and sometimes we have to wait that we have the possibility of putting this plan in motion, and then we do it. And I think the Retro Forest revamp is a very good example of that.
Yeah, I would agree. And we have a couple more thoughts on more content adjustments like that. And, I think GP2 is going to feature some of the coolest features that we have added into the game to date. The way that characters progress at level 50 is going to be really, I think, really very cool. And it's going to help. Yeah, I shouldn't say more than that. I'll probably spill too many beans there, but
yeah, we're getting to speak about that in a moment.
Yeah.
So we do have an interesting question from Olafsen. Okay. Is there anything you would like to change in the early game before launching on Steam to get more casual players to stick around? Well, we have been changing a lot the first player experience. That's something that we have been working on much. I'm not saying that there's not more work that could be done, but I think we were relatively happy of where we stand there. What would you say about that, Drindin?
Yeah, I mean, the early game, we have changed it a lot. I'm not sure when the last time you went through the early game was, but it's been kind of increased. We've reduced some of the quest task stuff. The leveling goes quicker. Yeah. There is a lot of the changes too. Like we used to give less direction, but now in the early quests we give a lot more direction on what to do next. And I think we're hoping that players read that stuff. But again, it's hard to rely on players reading things to get the direction they need. But even as far as like the tutorial notifications go, we've added that section in the player log to kind of give the tutorial advice tidbits right at your fingertips. So man,
the combat have changed as well. It's much more fast-paced. You have more abilities to start with,
and a lot of them are now instant casts.
The hell regen is faster. There had been a lot of little change like this that pile up to really make the first player experience much better than it was at launch.
Yeah, and I'm not saying we won't consider adjustments to the early game. Obviously, we're always trying to improve the game, and the early game is the first impression, right? So like we're not we're not ever like closed off to adjusting things. So yeah, any good ideas you guys have that you think we ought to consider, throw them in the suggestions channel in Discord, or make a forum post about it, and we would love to discuss that and think about that. And this is going to be a big thing for us. For not, when I say us, I mean our community, all of us. Going onto Steam, there's always the risk that we'll get like some bad review bombing going on and those kinds of things. So we'll be probably asking a lot of you who do love the game to give your opinions on Steam as well. To tell the world what you think about the game. And so there's definitely risks to this plan of ours, this way to the future. So
I love hot sauce. X. Brennan, always positivism. Well, we are here for the good review bomb. Thank you so much. That's really nice. I think Embers Adrift is not a game for everyone, that's for sure. It's not going to please the majority of MMORPG player. We're well aware of that. It has never been our intent to be a game for everyone, but it has been to create a very good experience for a certain type of player. And we are hoping to polish and tailor that experience for those players that enjoy that type of content. And so I do believe that our game is now in a good place. Much better than it was at launch. There is more things we can work on, and we are working on them. Right now we focus on the in-game content that has been missing for a while, so our level 50s have something to aspire to, some place where they can really continue to progress their character and faces more challenges. And beyond that, we still have many ideas and many things that we want to add to the game. So it might come slowly, but considering the circumstances and everything, I think everyone will understand, why it takes a long time. A longer time than, let's say, a AAA studio that have a team of 100 developers that all get their salary and that have plenty of fun to go with and that kind of things. Will it be time to read what the player can expect for this month, the patch notes?
Yeah, I think, and we're open to questions. So like if people have questions about the situation or whatever, feel free to throw them in. But yeah, let's move along and we can start talking about some more positive things.
Yeah.
I mean, not that, free to play situation and moving to Steam isn't positive. It certainly is. But it's, comes from kind of a bad situation. So
But the more important things is that we are free to play, but we still don't have a cash shop, and we will never have a cash shop. So there we go. Free to play, but no cash shop. We're continuing on our promises to have 0 microtransaction associated to our game. This month's patch is a bit light on content as most of our design time has been spent on the upcoming zone Grizzled Peak 2. However, we were able to sneak in a few fixes and design changes. Also note that the game has temporarily gone completely free to play for everyone, including all subscriber perks. For further details on the reason why, please read our most recent press release. Tech NPCs. Updated engine to the latest minor revision, minor bugs, fixes and improvement. Fix an issue where VFX was playing on the wrong target if you had to change target mid-execution. Fix a target reticle not showing on proving ground platform.
Yeah, that was a big... Do you remember the free-for-alls in the celebration, the anniversary?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, well, it's always good to do all those little tweak and correction when they come up. So your feedback is always welcome. As we say, your suggestion can go on the forum or on the Discord forum suggestion. But when you have a bug, a feature that is wonky, a stuck spot, whatever, you can do /report in game, and then you describe your problem, the bug, the whatever. There it gives also the location, so if it's related, like you see a floating tree, for example, this will give the exact location where you see the floating tree. So do not hesitate to use the /report command in game. Those of you that prefer also to give a report privately or suggestion privately because you don't want to start a conversation with other player, you can also use the /report. That will ensure that your report is only shared with the dev team, and some players are doing that. Ground gizmos holding Alt while hovering over an ability are now projected on the same layer as target reticle. This should resolve a number of issues where they were not showing, for example, in Forgotten Depth. Ashen creature now properly inherit the initial position from their parent creature. This should improve the reliability of Ashen creature returning home when they have no targets.
I'm going to miss that one.
Yeah.
I liked when they ran away and came back because it gave you a second to get...
Oh, yeah, but it's a little bit cheating. So now it's more accurate. All right, well, I can understand why you were saying, oh, yeah, it's more difficult now. Well, there it is. So that's how it is. All right, environment/art. Disabled anniversary decoration in New Haven and New Haven City and New Haven Valley. Disabled the confetti bomb and ember rings. And that's something I have commented many times. I don't think we will do it again next year. Or not in the same way. Yeah.
People liked it at first, but then it got kind of annoying, I think.
Yeah. So
I enjoyed it. It made me startle several times.
Yeah, it is fun, but maybe not every time, every ember ring, every time you come to it. Like it can be tiring very fast. Okay, we learned our lesson. All right, guys, we got it. Fixed stuck spot in New Haven City, Northridge, Dryford, Red Shore, Grizzled Canyon, and Forgotten Depth. Thanks for your report, guys. Fixed the hole in the ground in Red Shore Ridge. Fixed bendy sycamore tree in Highland Hills. Fixed a render distance on specific set of tree in Grizzled Peaks who will fade out before the imposter were shown. The imposter tech, it's something that we implemented recently in the game. So that's really great. Fixed floating props in New Haven City and Dryfoot. Adjusted LOD on some props. Interface added missing bulletin board on the retro map, which I guess is the
new map, yeah.
Not the Gildan one, the Garrick one.
Yes, Garrick.
Yeah.
Yep.
Design adjusted mob sensor and calls for help in Dryfoot Fortress to make things a little less chaotic. Thanks for your feedback, guys. I've been discussing with several on you in game. I think we have been talking about the Dryfoot Fortress, and here you have your first adjustment in the Dryfoot Fortress. So isn't that great?
Yeah, that was difficult if you're trying to go up on the ramparts there. Sometimes you get pulls from below, and that was that was a heck of a lot to deal with. So
yeah, it gave an extra layer of difficulty that were not specifically wanted. So we wanted the Dryfoot Fortress to be challenging but not impossible. and that was one of, because the verticality of the Dryfoot Fortress is super cool. Like, it's really great to be on top of the rampart and to fight, but it's not that cool when you take the aggro of some band of mobs. They see you on top of the rampart and they do the whole turn, aggroing much more mobs on the way, and then you have a huge train coming to you, and then it makes things impossible, and you have a guarantee background, obviously. which can be not nice at all.
Yeah. I like this next one too. Well, the next two actually.
Yeah. Improve the player respawn location reliability when giving up inside the renewed retro manor or the crack scale manor, which has been complimented by many of you. So that's a nice improvement as well. Increase the bag drag distance by 2 meters.
That's super helpful.
Yeah, I think people will love it because the drag back feature is really nice when you use it. Sometimes you can really pull out your bag from a pack of mob that you will not be able to get into otherwise. Added level 30 purchasables to North Highland Hills Merchant, which will be useful for you high level guys. Frogs and toads should now only call their own for help rather than any nearby animals, which makes sense, right? Because why a doe will help a frog?
Yeah.
Reduce the presence of predator in Southern Highland Hill, spiders, wolves and bears. So because of this, we are also reducing the number of those creatures for the bulletin board. Ember flies outside of torchbug tunnels can now spawn as a level lower. Increase the range of pursuit from 8 meter to 12 meter. Oh, I think Marshall are happy about that. Oh yeah, look at that Drindin with his 9 Marshall on his account. So happy.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
It is good for pulling because it gives you a little speed boost. So if you pull with it, they're slowed and you can take off faster back to your group. You know, normally it's not the marshals who are pulling, but
yeah, in case sometimes it is. Sometimes the tank prefer to do it.
Yeah, I like to use it when I'm running along as well, and there's a mob near the road. I'll snag them with a pursuit, and I'll get a little speed boost. So.
Yeah. The defend resistance skill is now an instant execution. I think people will love that too. Berserker Fury will now enable auto attack when used, which also will be an improvement. Added bloop purchasable cosmetic for Kate's kills. Oh, that's nice.
The first wearable kilt in the game.
Yeah.
I think it's 5,000 bloops, right?
5,000 bloops? No, I don't think it will be 5,000 bloops.
I kid.
Yeah, that will be interesting. Revert the change to triggered effect that were passing stat and thread along from the applier of the original buff rather than the one triggering the effect. This behavior is now reserved for over-provision. Skills such as Quillback Spines will return to providing threat to the one the buff is applied to and not back to the warden. That's
very helpful for us tanks.
Yeah. Quest dialogue and task. The Marshmires are now counted for the Mire Bulletin Board task and reduce the task requirement for predators in Southern Highland Hills, spider, wolves and bears, as I was mentioning earlier.
So there are fewer mobs, but there are also fewer requirements for those tasks.
So, and that's for player to not feel harassed by mob when they try to gather and stuff like that. I imagine in Highland
or harassed by the devs.
Yeah. So now the new stuff for this month. We still have some new stuff. All right. Introducing Locket Chest. And I think that those of you that have been testing them on the QA server were quite happy about it. We have added locket chests that appear in a few possible locations in dungeon. Those can be opened by the corresponding key and contain substantial rewards that you may typically find within the same dungeon. The keys have been misplaced and picked up by some rather crafty raccoons. Those can be found in the following dungeon: Central Veins, Aquifer, Dryfoot Marauder Camp, Undercroft, Forgotten Depths, Dryfoot Fortress, and Freehold. Well, almost all dungeon, but not the Ember Vein, basically.
Yeah, and if you do find a crafty raccoon, they will have a key on them.
Okay, so it's not a possibility, it's not a chance, it's not RNG to find a crafty raccoon, and then RNG on top of that to find the key. So it's directly one crafty raccoon guarantee key.
Yes.
And the chest is also shared with all members in a party, right? As usual.
Yes, and they have different visuals, so you will 100% notice a new chest visual out there. And you can probably note that Undone was not satisfied with just having a different looking chest. He wanted to make sure that they had a lock on them. When you unlock the chest, the lock goes away. And if you close the chest and don't loot anything, the lock will no longer be there.
Oh.
So, nice little detail that Undone added there.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So now that you have new chests, you also have loot roll changes. Well, it's not for that, but it's in preparation for Grizzled Peak 2. To prevent future edicts for no trait drops, we have made it so that you can no longer roll need on no trait / soulbound items that your character cannot use due to role, spec, or profession. In those cases, the need button will be grayed out, and the tooltip will have a reason as to why you cannot roll need on specific items. This change ignores level requirements and only consider roles, spec, and profession. This extends to items that can be equipped. This includes weapon, armor, clothing, and ammo. Tools, you can only roll need on tools relevant to your current profession. Region, you should only be able to roll need on region that work for your base role or specialization. Recipe, you can only roll need on a known recipe that match your current profession. Known recipe cannot be needed. Learn abilities, you can only roll need if you match the specialization and do not already know the ability. This currently check your level but will be fixed in the next build, so it does not. Note that the behavior of the greed button has not changed. You can exercise greed to your heart desire, meaning that let's say you want region for you out. You cannot need on those region anymore if you don't have the same role, for example, but you can still greed on them. So that doesn't mean that you will not be able to access or loot those elements. You can just not need, and that is to fix things so that it doesn't cause drama for certain items.
Correct. And one other thing I wanted to note about the chests, there's a reason why we put those in as well. Not only is it fun to be able to find a key and then go into a dungeon to find the chest for the key, but it also, let's say you're hunting Darkforge and he doesn't pop for whatever reason, you can't get him to spawn that dungeon run. Well, there's a possibility that you find a chest and you have a key for it, and they have basically kind of like a guaranteed way for you to get some high level or high quality loot from your dungeon run. So you won't always find a chest. They still spawn like regular things, so you're going to want to be killing the rats and making sure that stuff spawns. But of course, gives everyone a reason to go into a dungeon and gives you kind of a more guarantee that you're going to get some fat loots. So
yeah, that's good. So during the patch notes reading, I didn't have the chance to read all of the comments of the community. Sorry if you, please don't feel neglected. It's normal. It's just that I need a third screen if I want to be able to open all my tabs. But yeah, do not hesitate to ask your question if you have any question related to the new patch or related to, the monetization change or little business hiccups here. I'm just scrolling up a little bit to see if there's any question. Yeah,
yes, I have a new name in the chat.
Roscoe is saying, so the key are inventory item and someone has to win it and that person has to open the locker chests. So yeah, what about if someone, so the key can be needed by players. So a player could eventually decide to run away with the key without opening the chest.
I guess I don't quite understand the question. Once you open a chest, it's open for the whole group.
Yes, but let's imagine you have a group of player. They find a crafty raccoon. Someone need on the key. That someone should be the one opening the chest. But instead of opening the chest, that someone run away with the key. Is it doable? Is it something that can be done?
Well, yeah, I mean they're not no trade or anything like that. I think they're able to be traded. So, you know, if someone runs off with your key, there's still other ways to get other keys. And of course, you know, farming the rats will help you find raccoons as well. So. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't know if Undone has clarification for that. Can you need on the crafty raccoon keys?
Yeah, because Levy is also adding to that question. Do those keys disappear from your inventory when you leave the dungeon, or will people be stockpiling those keys?
Oh, no, you get the keys from anywhere you can find chests or rats. So if you happen to find a raccoon, crafty raccoon, up in the overland, you can get a key from them, and it will be a key for a specific dungeon. So it's not like you go into the dungeon and you get the key in the dungeon, and then when you leave, the key disappears or anything like that. No. The keys are permanent until they're used. Once you use them, then they disappear.
And is it a key specific for a dungeon? So let's say you find a crafty raccoon in Highland Hills. Is it a key specifically for, let's say, freehold or from...
Yeah, each key will have a specific dungeon for it. Yeah.
Okay.
So when you loot the key, check the description. It will tell you. I think actually the label, the name of the item, has the appropriate dungeon for it in it.
Yeah, meaning that you maybe in theory you can stockpile key, but it will not be really interesting to do it.
Maybe not. I mean, let's say you have 3 keys and you're like trying to get a group, and you say, hey, I've got 3 keys for Forgotten Depths. Like, let's go spend a few nights in Forgotten Depths and use these keys.
Yeah, so, that's true. That's true. It can be nice.
And I'm pretty sure they're tradable, so you can sell them. So I don't think the keys are stackable.
So Ara Eve is asking, so those chests can drop every item from the dungeon, including from named, right? Is the chance equal from every item, or are there differences?
They have a chance to drop the loot from the bosses, yes. I might need Adrift to further clarify that. But yeah, there's a higher chance to get loot from the chest. The chests, like, I'm pretty sure they're guaranteed to drop some really, really nice loot. If you have a key and you go down and you find one of these chests and you open it, you're gonna get high quality loot from that dungeon.
Well, so far our community has always been very nice, kind, and generous, and not greedy. We don't really have a community where players are greedy. That doesn't work very well. In general, it's more like, I'm giving away this, I'm giving away that. So, I don't know. Let's keep up the nice atmosphere, and even when we have more players and new players that come in, let's welcome them and show them how this community is working and keeping it nice, kind, welcoming, generous, etc. So Smartbone is confirming, I just got an email saying that my subscription has been cancelled by the studio. When I log back in the game, will I still have my character? Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
You will have access to not only the game, but also all sub-perk, as if you were continuing to subscribe. That's the whole thing, is that you guys will have access to the whole game and every subscriber perk like you were subscribing, but without subscribing. Like, the situation is pretty simple. We have no way to receive your money. We don't want you to pay a subscription to Digital River, you see? So there it is. Okay, Roscoe also got his cancel email. Nice.
I'm glad that's going through well. I agree, X.
Are those lock chests in all the dungeon? In most of them, so you will find we have just read the list of those dungeons in the patch note. You will find the full list in the patch notes.
They're not in the Ember Veins. You can get crafty raccoons in the Ember Veins, but you cannot find those loot chests in the Ember Veins. So you'll have to go to like a traditional social dungeon, one of the big ones, to get the chests. Now, that's not to say that won't change in the future. It might. So things like the Dryfoot Stronghold, the Dryfoot Fortress, those will have chests. I don't think Osric's Rest will have chests. But, you know, like Forgotten Depths, Central Veins, those will all have chests. Yep, Stronghold, Freehold, Redshore Ridge. I don't think Redshore Ridge.
But Redshore Ridge is not a dungeon. So not Overworld, not Ember Vein, not Solo Loop. The dungeon where you go with a group, basically. So, yeah, that's good. What about speaking a little bit of the upcoming content? Yeah, let's speak about GP2 first, I think.
It's beautiful. It's so pretty.
So...
It's really great. It's like, for me, the kind of the culmination of all the lore points you towards this place. And I'm really, really excited. The bosses are phenomenal. I fought one with Adrift the other day, and it was just beautiful.
Yeah, look at Drindin looking on top of his head. Maybe that will give you an idea. So what was the purpose of Grizzled Peak 2? What is the intent with that zone, exactly?
Well, it's a level 50 plus zone. So we're introducing a new type of progression into the game for level 50 players. We're introducing new bosses and basically combat tech. We're introducing we're actually introducing a new crafting profession as well that everyone who is level 50 will get.
Yeah.
There's a quest for it, so you don't just like hop into the zone and get it. You have to do a quest for it. Yeah, it's all. This zone is it's Ibax. It's the main city of the Verhurumen, so it's hardcore. It's not really a solo place at all. It's for 6-man plus groups. So,
and Don is saying stop with the bean.
oh, come on. There's no details. It's just vague. It's very vague.
It's very vague. It's just vague. No, keep the bean.
You guys, there's a new monster.
Those beans are misleading.
There's some familiar monsters, but there are new monsters. I can't wait.
Yeah, new creature, guys. Be excited. Stuff
These
that
beans are misleading? Come on. They're not misleading.
Well, wait for next community show, guys. We were going to speak in detail about everything that happened in Grizzled Peak 2. So now you need to know that 1, it's an endgame zone for level 50s. So it is your new progression. So you don't gain level anymore, but you progress your character anyway. Plenty of new bosses. Conclusion of plenty of the lore that has been suggested all along your adventure. If you have paid attention to the lore, you're going to be excited. And then more new system. Oh my god, really exciting. So new creature, new combat tech, pretty cool. Combat tech for bosses, right? That's what we
and by
intend.
that I mean like new attacks from bosses, new ways that you're gonna have to strategically fight these things, and you're gonna be forced to do some things, and you're gonna have to like be on your toes. I'm thinking of a specific function that a certain boss has that you will have to deal with periodically throughout the fight.
Nice.
So I'll say more next time, maybe.
Yeah, cool stuff for level 50s. So level 50s, rejoice. I know it's been a very long time. You didn't have anything new to try on, but here the content that was promised to you is arriving. And what's best, you don't even have to pay a subscription to try it. You can just jump in the game. At the end of December, you will be, hopefully, if everything happened fine, you never know. If everything happened fine, for Christmas, you're going to fight those mobs in Grizzled Pig 2. And to all of you that are currently progressing your character, you guarantee that you will not just stay idle at level 50. I know it has been complained from the people that were 50s ages ago, which is absolutely legitimate, but also the players that are about to reach 50. They're like, but what will I do? Now you know that you will have some activity to do, some progression to pursue, some challenge to overcome with your friends, and it's going to be cool. It's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, and I do want to just emphasize the fact that that's our goal. Our timeline is to launch Grizzled Peaks 2 for December.
Yeah. Let's manifest it with the power of friendship. It's going to happen.
Yeah. So yeah, again, just that's our goal. That's our goal. We're not guaranteeing that, but
yeah, Christmas
we want
magic.
To
Exactly.
We want to.
So if you think about it hard enough, it's going to happen. Yeah. And then Undone is face palming behind his screen like, what are you saying, Elloa? All right. Let's get to the community news and speak a little bit about the anniversary event. So the anniversary event happened just when we started to have this whole drama with Digital River, making it so that it felt a little bit pointless to over-promote the event, to try to do big attempt of marketing, etc., because we were absolutely in the mist concerning, will those sales come to us or not? Will we get the money or not? So the main focus, at least on my part, has been to try to organize an event that will amuse the existing community, not specifically to reach out to new players, not specifically to emphasis on expanding the game, but more let's gather all together the old player that have not played for a while, or existing community or active player. Let's try to make something really fun for everyone, and I do believe that it was a success.
Yeah, I know. I really felt a huge sense of gratitude listening to all the comments from those who are participating in the events. Just again, like, we do this for you guys, and you guys really helped to reinforce that when we were going through the events and running the fireworks and all those kinds of things. It was really heartwarming and affirming for us to see you guys just enjoying yourselves, and also all the testimonials we put up, seeing those come through. That was really that was amazing to see you guys send all those in, or just the reactions, and yeah, of course the bloops were fun too. I mean, we had a lot of fun with the bloops and Bloopiter's blessings, and Sharon came through in a big way in this event. We thanks to Sharon for all her efforts and deaths.
Yeah.
I can't believe you guys used forbidden dark magic in New Haven City to summon Sharon. I'm very disappointed.
That was so fun too. I loved what was really fun with organizing those events is that a lot of them were kind of inspired on the moment. Um, like this summoning ritual to summon Cheryl. I don't know. I try to spice up a little bit with some, not to take too literal lore, right? It's role play, but not really serious because we're not specifically following the lore that is established by the game. It's just something in the moment to have fun, and this idea came to me. Yeah, let's make a kind of a clue that player have to do, and if they figure out the clue, if they do it, then they can summon Sharon, and that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was really fun. So,
Yeah.
Sharon has a special place in our hearts, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because those GM event, and I know some player that prefer to have a very serious lore immersion. They don't like those GM events because they kind of break away a little bit. Sometimes there is no justification for those events to happen, but the idea is just to have a bit of mayhem, a bit of joy, to amuse people, to see how the community react, to ensure that there's some variety, because I do believe we are one of the only game to still organize those type of tailored on-the-go events made for the player. They are not planned in advance. They are not. We are just preparing tools to be able to do those events better and better. So you have a reward, so everyone can participate. All that kind of things. But everything else is kind of improvise on the go, and if something is not working, it has happened several times. I had an idea for an event, but then the player struggle or something like that, so we do something else instead. And I think we are probably one of the only game that does that, and I think it can be one of our strengths because it's really fun and everyone are enjoying themselves.
Yeah, and we do run, every time we have an event, we'll run some lore events and some chaos Elloa events. So, you're going to get both. You're going to get both.
Yeah. Yeah, which is really cool. So Roscoe is saying we need a new target named after Digital River now for the GM event. That could be funny.
Yeah, that would be funny.
So, what were your favorite moments? The memory that stuck to you the most during the GM event?
Honestly, for me, the fireworks show. It's kind of a chaotic event for us, where we kind of run it like a raid event in the background, calling out commands and running back and forth and shooting stuff off. It's a lot of fun. I'm not sure exactly how it looks from your perspective, but I hope it looks pretty cool. But the comment, like what dev team out there runs a manual fireworks show for their community? I think that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah.
And we popped down and spawned a bunch of mobs on you guys, and it was a lot of fun. So we get a lot of really nice comments doing that, and it feels great, just seeing you guys celebrate with us. It's just phenomenal. And then, everyone gets some bloops too, because, then we get to terrorize you a little bit with some bosses, so that's fun.
So I did miss the firework event because what's nice with having different time zone is that we can kind of cover the whole weekend together. So Drindin does the event when I sleep, and so we ensure that there's something that's happening all along, because otherwise it's difficult for one person to host everything. But yeah, I was not there for the firework event, which is sad because it was really cool when we did it last year. But I had really a lot of fun time with the community. Carmel did organize a PvP event in the arena. It's nice to see that the arena is being used and that players are going to fight there. That was really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I wondered if they can. We specifically keep our torches out on top of the wall, running back and forth, to see like if you guys can see us up there. So I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, like you said, Elloa, all these events, like all of them are special. All of them are really great. And I missed out on some of the ones that you ran. I tried to be there as much as I could be. But it was really great. Every time, even the PvP tournament. I'm not a PvP guy. I don't like that very much. But it was a blast running around, getting my butt kicked by Elloa, of course.
Well, the thing which is fun is that even when you're not a PvP person, here it's more something friendly, right? You do that with your friend, and so it doesn't really matter if you get defeated or if you're defeating other. It's just fun things to do among friends within the community, and I think it's really cool.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, I'm right with Roscoe on that. It's not my favorite thing, PvP, but it was actually really fun when you're doing it with friends and it's an event, and really lighthearted, really wonderful.
So Annoying Llama is asking, will you do an affiliate program in the future, but like a content creator program instead of the mono side of things? I'm not really sure how we will, with the new stuff coming in, how that even will be possible.
Yeah, that's been on my mind a lot, and after today's announcement, I was actually going to reach out to you, Llama. But we can certainly have our own, like we kind of do in Discord. We have our own little content creator channels and stuff like that. We'll continue to do that, of course, but I'm pretty sure there is a way to have some affiliates through Steam, and if not, I would like to figure something out. We don't have all the answers right now.
Yeah.
We certainly would like to. So that's kind of why I've been reaching out to you, Llama, about the progress on that, because I knew that things were kind of rocky with Digital River, and it might not end up being possible anymore. So
yeah. So when it comes to the business side of things, we have no answer. However, the community side of things is different, because we do what we want. And so if you have great idea or stuff you would like to see implemented, there is the Discord channel, the content creator Discord channel, to discuss about all of that. And so I will be happy to figure things out and to organize things in future. Speaking of really cool community things, I am also announcing to everyone, including Drindin, because I didn't talk to him about it, I want to organize a new weekend event for December. So here it is, holiday weekend, Friday 13 December noon to Sunday 15 December midnight. I'm very confident in announcing this because I know I can handle it by myself if I have to. But it will be cool. I think it will be great, and I choose that specific weekend because I think it's going to be just before Grizzled Peak 2. So because I was thinking, if it's the weekend of the release of Grizzled Peak 2, all the 50s will be in Grizzled Peak 2. They will not want to do GM event in New Haven Valley, but now they can.
Nice. I also did want to mention, there was one other event that I ran on the celebration weekend. Sorry, we're still talking celebration stuff and events.
Yeah.
I'm going back real quick. We had an event where New Haven was getting invaded by spiders and some other nefarious creatures, and the level 50 players were all currently killing skull bosses, so they couldn't make it. So I kind of dragged things out and then called for reinforcements, and they came in through the door right when things are getting bad and overbearing. It was so fun to try to time that and line that up and have have them come in and kind of save the day. That was really fun.
Yeah, that's great. What's really
Yeah.
nice is that those events gather the whole community around. And you never know what's going to happen. I really enjoyed the Goulet type of event as well, which I had no idea if it would. I just wanted to change things around and to not always have the same thing. And so we placed all the mobs along the roads, and hoping that it will not be a complete disaster. And I warn everyone, this might be an horrible disaster. We will see, but it was not. It was kind of challenging and fun and different from running around and hunting a different pack of mobs hidden in the map, or having to defend waves of mobs like we were doing otherwise. It was just something different. And of course, Sharon was waiting at the end.
With a big hug.
So, like, what was exactly the consequence of leaving the road? Well, the people that were leaving the road were teleported back by my care in the middle of the road. So, that's what I did.
I was thinking next time we run that, the consequence should be they get teleported to the tower behind Sharon, and they have to the rest of the community has to defeat Sharon without them.
Oh, no, that's so sad. Yeah, but there's plenty of way.
We'll run that together, and I'll teleport people to me. I'll summon people to me who leave the road on to the top of the tower where they can't escape.
Yeah, there's, we are building up all those ideas as we go and as we do the event, and I think that's what makes those events really, really fun and enjoyable. All right, well, I think we have a very long community show, and it's time to say goodbye to our player. Thank you very much for watching this community show and this press release. Do not hesitate to reach us on Discord if you have any question, further question, etc. Spread the news to your friend, to your community. Be sure to communicate with them that the game is free now. They don't have to subscribe anymore. They don't have to have the game. They can join us. No more excuse. I want to see plenty of players running around in New Haven Valley this winter. Let's go, guys. Thank you so very much, everyone, for your support. Thank you to each and every one of you that have already been donating. That's really wild. Thank you so much for your generosity and for your support, and we will do our best to continue to develop the game and to transfer it to Steam, and to do our best to continue to serve you. And that's it. That's all I have to say.
And again, we really appreciate all the support that you guys have given us over the years, and we're really, it's very regrettable that this situation has happened, but we really appreciate any way that you guys can help us out here for the next few months through our donation channel. So we really appreciate all that support and all the support that anyone can spare as we go forward. So, because really, I mean, the people who are losing are the dev team themselves. So,
or kind words.
But, yeah.
Kind words is also very helpful. You have no idea how powerful that is, because when you have nothing else to run on, physically, it's your only kind of reward. Those kind words are so precious. So thanks you for all of you that are giving moral support. Do not think that it is not enough. It is extremely important as well. So thanks for that.
Yeah. Yes, very much so. Thank you all.
That's what keeps us going. All right. Well, that will be it for this show. We will see you again in December for a new community show with news about Grizzled Peak and all that kind of great news and details about the new content coming. Bye, everyone.